Hello students, Tim back here again. Welcome back to the classroom. And today we have a great lesson on where to find some great free resources online when learning how to play piano music. The resources I'm going to give you will help you learn new topics, help you practice topics you already know so you can master them, as well as give you a great website to find free sheet music for all the great classics you're going to learn how to play. And also I'm going to give you some advice on how to find some great free lessons here on YouTube. Okay, so the first free resource I want to talk about today is musictheory.net, which is a great free resource. You can actually learn a lot about the basic music theory you need to know to learn how to play the piano, and they have some apps as well, which is really, really nice. Now, on the website itself, there are lessons here, so you can actually get lessons about all these things like the staff, clefs, ledger lines, note durations, measures and time signatures, restorations, a ton of things you need to know when learning how to play the piano. So this is perfect stuff, if you are just starting out learning. And then it has like a little thing that walks you through, the lesson. Okay, so there's like steps to it, and then you press the forward key, and it walks you through the lesson, highlighting, what part of the lesson is talking about, and then illustrating it graphically, which is a really, really nice feature to have, especially for free. And they have this on a bunch of topics, as you can see. Like I said, all these things you have to know to learn how to play the piano, especially the things up towards the top. And then you have the exercises portion of the website where, you actually can practice the things that you learn. And the lessons portion, things that are very useful for beginner piano players, especially those of us learning to play music or learning to read music. So there is a reading tool here for reading music, which is really, really helpful. And all the little activities they have here on this website all have settings that go along with them that can really help you like fine tune what you need to work on. So if I really needed to work on a specific section, say in treble clef, oh, this isn't quite catching it up there, but on the side where you can't see, I'm actually adjusting the settings. So basically it will only go through the notes that I really need practice on, and I can set it there. So very useful note reading tool there, or note identification rather. Then they have a key signatures tool. So if you are more into music theory or you're further along in learning how to play the piano and you want to learn your key signatures, another great one here. And again, all of these have a settings little button there up on the top right. Like I said, my setup, you can't see it right now, but it's there. And then you can go through and basically give an answer to each of these. So if it has 4 sharps, that's E. Of course, you need to learn about this first before you're able to do it, but that's very good practice. Truly random, so you don't have to flip through cards or anything. It's right here online, and it does keep track of how many you got right, which is a very nice feature to have. Okay, also some other things you might be interested in is interval identification. Now, I have a really great lesson on identifying intervals and actually how you can use intervals to read sheet music a lot faster. I'll put an annotation somewhere, or you can find it in the description for sure once I post the video. So if you practice this actually can make you a lot better at reading music. And now you'll have to check out that lesson to find out why. But just letting you know, when you watch that lesson, you can come back here to practice that. Then they have keyword note identification, very useful for those of us who are just starting out. Again, there's a settings tab. You can set it to, if you only know the white keys, you can set it to that. If you only want to practice the black keys, you can do that as well. There's also a tools tab with some things you probably wouldn't really need unless you are a bit more advanced. But hey, it's here and it's totally free. So just check that out when you come to the site musictheory.net. Again, there is an app called Tenuto for iOS, which you can learn about right on the website. This website has really helped me, not me learn, but helped me teach other students and help them learn from across the internet. If I'm giving somebody Skype lessons or, on my academy at pianolessonsontheweb.com where I have a ton of courses, I use often a lot of the activities have you go to this website and basically do some of the exercises here because they are very useful and they are totally free and you can't beat that. So musictheory.net comes highly recommended. And then you have the exercises portion of the website where you actually can practice the things that you learn. And the lessons portion, this things that are very useful for beginner piano players, especially those of us learning to play music or learning to read music. So there is a reading tool here for reading music, which is really helpful. And all the little activities they have here on this website all have settings that go along with them that can really help you like fine tune what you need to work on. So if I really needed to work on a specific section, say in treble clef, oh, this isn't quite catching it up there, but on the side where you can't see, I'm actually adjusting the settings. So basically it will only go through the notes that I really need practice on, and I can set it there. So very useful note reading tool there, or note identification rather. Then they have a key signatures tool. So if you are more into music theory or you're further along in learning how to play the piano and you want to learn your key signatures, another great one here. And again, all of these have a settings little button there up on the top right. Like I said, my setup, you can't see it right now, but it's there. And then you can go through and basically give an answer to each of these. So if it has 4 sharps, that's E. Of course, you need to learn about this first before you're able to do it, but that's very good practice. Truly random, so you don't have to flip through cards or anything. It's right here online, and it does keep track of how many you got right, which is very nice feature to have. Another good one is Teoria.com, and it's Teoria.com. And if you go there, there's a bunch of free stuff there as well. There's music theory tutorials, which are very useful. Like I said, when you are a piano player, you may be thinking that you can skip music theory. You really can't. Now, you don't have to become a music theory genius or anything like that, but you really do need to know some basics, and this can really help with that. It's also very good for ear training and things like that. A lot of great exercises and everything here. So you go to the exercises portion of the website. They have ear training, which ear training, if you don't know, is basically training your ears. Well, duh. But how do you do that? Well, you learn to actually hear the difference between notes. So, if I knew that if I had ear training, I could say, okay, that note, if I knew the bottom note was C, what's the next note up? Well, by ear, I can hear that that's what's called a major third. So I know that the note above that's E. Really useful for more advanced players especially, because then you can use your ears to really both double check yourself, and it also helps with, it just really helps in general. You understand how the music flows from one section to another in between chords and things like that a bit better. So it's always very useful to learn some ear training. Over here is some music theory, as you can see. And again, it has things like intervals, reading. Which website do I find better for these little things? Probably musictheory.net, but this one isn't bad. Not bad at all, actually. And this one, actually, you can set... Oh, actually, never mind. This one is a little different than I thought it was going to be. It is never mind the metronome there. But it is actually reading through these notes, and you have to play them on this little piano in time. Which I'm not getting any right because I don't understand how it works. Looks like I got them all wrong. So hopefully you did better than me. I'm just goofing around a little bit here. But kind of interesting. So if you actually, what I recommend you start with then is musictheory.net. Do the exercises there, and then do this one. There's also a settings menu for this one. It actually was in the beginning here. And, then you can move on to this one where you're reading a bunch of notes right in a row. So you can actually use both websites to your advantage. Okay, there's also things like key signatures, construction, identification. So let's just jump into one of these. Okay, so this one's interesting. So again, I actually recommend you use this website after musictheory.net. And actually just says build key signature D major. So what does that mean? What the heck does that mean? Well, if you know your music theory, in the key of D major, there's an F sharp and there's a C sharp in that order. And you say check answer, and I got it right. So after you learn your key signatures and you've practiced them, you can use this little tool, and it's just another way of practicing your key signatures, which will really come in handy. You know, you have things like scales too. So this wasn't on musictheory.net. You can build scales. So if you, I'm pretty sure what this will do is it'll ask me a scale. It'll be like, name that scale, and I'll be like, actually not name it, build it. So let's see, build the scale, major. Oh, so it wants me to build a major scale here. Well, you have to know quite a bit about music theory here, but F, G, A flat, B flat, C, see how good I am, D flat, and then D, and then E flat. Got him. So if you're really good at music theory, you can use this and build your scale. Actually, if you know your scales, it really helps too. So next you have chords and things like that. So if you go down to chords and things like that. So you have triads, 3-note chords, 7th chords, extended chords. Those are really jazz kind of chords, so only if you're more advanced. If you're looking for beginner stuff, you can look at your triads, 3-note chords. And obviously you have to learn about chords here, but this is a really good place to practice. Theoria.com is a lot about practice. You can learn this stuff over at musictheory.net, but in terms of actually practicing it, I mean, you can do it at musictheory.net as well, but Theoria.com has some really good examples that you can do, a lot of good practice kind of things here. Build triad, major root position, and also you can learn how to do all this from both my YouTube channel and, well, especially my website, because my website covers this and even more. But let's see here. We have G flat, B flat, D flat. So let's go here, hit B flat, and then D flat. And then it says correct, so I did it right. And you want to do a bunch of those every day. Once you learn about it, of course. Okay, then there's some other things that I'm not going to get into during this lesson, like harmonic functions, transposing instruments, and jazz. Obviously a little bit more advanced, but it's there, and it's free. How can you beat that? So Theoria.com also comes highly recommended. Okay, this one's a bit more advanced, but this one's really good for finding sheet music in a lot of cases. It's called imslp.org, and it's part of the Petrucci Music Library. They have a lot of great public domain things here. It's really good for finding sheet music, except you can't find all the sheet music, but you can find a lot of things. So say you want to learn how to play Für Elise. So you type in Für Elise. Now this is usually the more advanced versions of it. It looks like Google, but it is actually searching in the site. They actually direct you to Google to do that. But anyway, you find it here, you click on it, and then they have like the complete performance. You can listen to the recording. So even if you're looking for the recordings of a lot of these pieces and you can't play them yet, it's great here. Then you scroll down until you see something like complete score. Look for one that looks good. You see how like this one, let me zoom in and see how that one looks nice and neat. I mean, it takes some getting used to be able to, you know, figure these out right away, because I've been looking at music for a long time. But you always have to accept the disclaimer and then wait 15 seconds for some reason, I guess, to make sure you're not a bot. And then by the time 15 seconds are up, you can download your sheet music for great enjoyment. The Great Emperor has made it, everybody. He's somebody in our live stream, by the way. So anyway, after 15 seconds are up, you click on download, and you can begin enjoying your wonderful sheet music. You can print it out and everything. Who doesn't enjoy that? I'm not going to play more because YouTube will flag my video, and it will be very frustrating. Okay, so let's go back. If there's a free music resource that you like, you know, feel free to share, because like I said, when we join together and we learn together, we learn a lot more. So we really should share the information we have. So if you are thinking, you're like, man, you know, I really use this other website too, and it's called something, you know, whatever.com or org or whatever, then leave it in the comments and share it with us. I would love to hear it, and I'd love to get more ideas for even another video on this topic. So obviously the big one here is YouTube. You can use YouTube to learn about piano. So you can type in learn, or, you know, how to play piano, see what comes up. And I'll just walk you through what will pop up here and what I think of some of these creators. Okay, so after the ads, you almost never want to click on the ads. I'm just kidding. So you want to, the first real video here is how to play piano. It's by Liper. Liper has been, or he made videos like a long time ago. I don't think he's really made much in the last 3 years, but he does have quite a collection of videos, which were some of the first around on YouTube. And he does have a certain style that people like, and he does have a sense of humor, which everybody can always enjoy. Instant Piano Genius by see, the thing I problem I have about this video is that it promises you that you can take shortcuts when pro shortcuts, it says, by the way. It says learn to play piano instantly. #1 beginning trainer pro shortcuts. So that's not clickbait at all, is it? Well, I've written a couple clickbaity titles before, but there is no such thing as pro shortcuts, guys. He talks about how he actually says you're wasting your time if you're learning how to read music and learning music theory. And then he claims that you can go around that by learning his numbering system, which is really just intervals. It's really nothing like revolutionary at all. And I don't get it. I don't get it. He wants you to sign up at pianogenius.com, though, apparently. But that's just my opinion. I might be wrong. I don't have anything against the guy himself. That's just what I think of his video. HD Piano actually is useful if you're looking to learn songs and... Oh, no. Don't play his video. Don't play his video. I will get in so much trouble for that. But anyway, it's basically if you want to learn a certain song with the synesthesia kind of thing, then that might be for you, but you can't really learn how to play piano that way. So I don't recommend that one. But anyway, some good ones here. Like Liper was good, so I recommend you check him out. The Online Piano Violin Tutor. Can't remember her name right now. What is her name? I feel so bad because I feel like I see it all the time. Allison, right? Her name's Allison. I apologize, Allison, if I forgot your name. No.
My name's Alison, the Unknown Piano and the Unknown.
Allison is her name. Okay, hopefully that didn't get me flagged. It's so ridiculous that I have to be so careful about this, but what are you going to do? So she's really good. She has a lot of lessons. She has a lot of covers, too, so if you want to learn some anime music and things like that, that's the place to go. I don't do as many covers anymore or song tutorials. Hoffman Academy. Hoffman has a lot of free stuff, and the guy's very nice. I've never talked to him personally, though, but, you know, look how nice he looks. I actually don't know much about him, to tell you the truth. I've seen him before, though. His lessons make sense. Like, they're easy to understand. This is like a satire video. How to fake piano skills with play without knowing how. I don't know how much it will educate you, but if you want to be entertained, that's the way to go. So you can use YouTube for sure. And then, of course, you can type in... actually, I come up with it under a lot of things, but if you just type in lessons on the web, obviously, you will find me pop up. And you can go to lessons on the web, which we have all seen here before.